All right, I'm going to do a quick demo of what we went over today in class. And this is building, obviously, off of what we did last time. It is perspective, but it's 2-point perspective. This is essentially taking on the world from a corner and angled a 3/4 view. So the first thing I want to do is just demonstrate it. A lot of this should be familiar, and we're putting a couple of twists on it, okay? So we all know what this is. The horizon, the eye level. It's still there. Still need it, okay? Now, we also know what this is, but I'm putting it way over here. That's a VP, vanishing point. This is where we start to get a little different. Also on the eye level, also has to be on the eye level or the horizon, is another vanishing point, and I want to put that down here, okay? I'm keeping this all freehand. I want to stay in the flow. I'm going to show you what we can do with that. With 1 point, we started with a simple shape, a square, right? Like this one. This time, we're going to go even simpler. I want to go above the horizon line, between the 2 points, with a vertical, straight up and down line segment. That's all you got to do. That's kind of starting where we did with the shape, but this time we just need a line with 2-point perspective, okay? 2-point perspective. Here's the setup. Let's bring it home. Remember, connect to each end of that line from one vanishing point, okay? What are these called? That's right. Orthogonals. There's 2 here. We also are going to connect this vertical line to the other vanishing point. There you go. Freehand, but you get the point. It's like a floating pole attached to 2 sets of strings. What I'm going to do is go down one of these 2. I could go down either one of these orthogonals. You could put left or right, top or bottom. I'll go down the top to the right. Just pick a random point and come straight down. Remember, you don't want to go this way or that way. You want to go straight up and down. Okay? Now think about it. All we've done is drawn another one of these. It's already connected down here. Where it's not connected is to this one. Again, not perfect, but you will get the idea. And the orthogonals keep going, but here we are. All right, now, I'm going to go down this other one. Pick me another line. There we go. Same thing. We already have 2 orthogonals going over the top and bottom. So let's go to the other side. All right. I want to use this black marker to emphasize what we've done and what we've executed, starting there, following the orthogonal until we get to that next mark, straight up and down, other direction. And then I want to go to here. I'm not going to extend past it. I'm like, where does this pick up? There. We've constructed, like we did with 1-point perspective, now with 2-point perspective, we've created a box, okay? And it has 2 vanishing points because we're looking at it from the corner. Let's do one down low, just to see how that one works, okay? Same thing, straight up and down, going to a corner, going to a vanishing point. Let's take it to the other one. Now remember, this is simple. When you start observing things, it gets more complicated. We're reverse engineering it. I'll do a little bit of that in a minute. But I want you to see how this works. Let's make a bigger one. I'm going to go right here. And I can go ahead and pick me one here. Let's make a shoebox, right? Taking this one to the far side because they're already here. Whatever this is parallel to this, is parallel to this. This has to go back to this vanishing point. Over here, we've already got that captured, but the back side of that box is parallel to the front side on the left. There we go. I'm not going to do the bottom because it's solid. See that? Let's emphasize it. We can play with these things. Down. There's a box below the horizon line in 2-point perspective, okay? Now, I said a shoebox. Let's take the top off of it. There we go. Because this, if it was transparent, is going through that way, okay? On this one, I'll put a lid on it. That's very simple. Just go up and out a bit. Follow that orthogonal down. Same here. There we go. Let's make it legit. The shoe company named after a Greek god. It's pretty cool, right? A couple of boxes. This is how we would make a house. This is how we would do a cracker box. This is how you could draw the beginning of a coffee table. All kinds of shapes. You could turn this into a couch, a swimming pool, all kinds of things, okay? A book. Let's do one real quick on the horizon. Let's remind where that horizon is. I want to emphasize it in pink. One more. Let's do one on the horizon and across it. So there's a single line. I'm going to go a little bit further so we can see what we're doing. I want to do this in yellow. Here come the orthogonals. From here. Might be a little hard to see. That's okay. Then down to here. All the way. Right? Even if those lines aren't literally there, they are implied. Now, back to my pencil. I will pick a line randomly down here between the two yellows. Remember, straight up and down. And another line here, straight up and down. There we go. Let's make that a box. All right. If we want to get fancy, let's say it has windows. See how it approaches the horizon? They flatten out, and then here they pick up. It's a distant skyscraper. This is Nike headquarters back in the day, right? Then just some lines straight up and down that get a little bit further apart to closer to the corner. Playing around, let's center up a triangle. And there we go. As a matter of fact, I can be tricky, and suddenly I've made a milk carton. Things that have this kind of shape, boxy, squarish, cubish, room, rectilinear, you can imagine them in 2-point perspective, okay? 2-point perspective requires what's called, in the art world, a 3/4 view. If you're standing here, put some hair on him, glasses, shoulders, feet, that's a weird shoulder, and you're looking this way. When we see 1-point perspective, we're looking at the face of something. We're looking at the building this way. In 2-point perspective, we're seeing something in the corner, like that. All right? if we're in a room, we're not looking at a wall like in the hallway that comes like this. What we're seeing is the corner of the room. 2-point perspective helps us to put this world in proper depth perception depending upon our point of view. Now it matters, right? You want to know the process, but you got to know your eye level. Same thing as 1 point. You got to know proportions. How far up this wall are you? Am I a human being? This is my eye level, so that's where I'd be standing, right there, right? So you need to keep those things in mind still, but 2-point perspective can help you draw things on an angle. As simple as a box, as complicated as a Greek temple, okay? Practice. Do 5 of these. If you miss class, do 5 boxes in 2-point. Practice, practice, practice. Okay.